Christianity has taught and still teaches that black people or so-called Negroes are Gentiles who have been grafted in by faith. But this doctrine is false. Let's listen to some real Gentiles who admit who the so-called Negroes are.
Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and to this very important and very special video that I'm doing covering who the true biblical Hebrews are. First off, I want to say, as if the warning at the beginning of the video wasn't enough, I want to make sure and reiterate this, that I'm not a racist person, nor am I a person that hates certain individuals. I love all of humanity. I want to see all of humanity making a new kingdom. But nevertheless, there is true Hebrews. There is a true people of the Most High that is scattered throughout the nations of the earth this day. It is not whom that many people believe they are, such as the so-called Jews in the nation-state of Israel that we so see before us right now. I would interject that the true biblical Hebrews are the so-called African-American people that are scattered abroad throughout the world. Now, I will show you through a mass amount of evidence that I'll put up on the screen right here, verses below, and you can do your due diligence and research these things out to see if they be so. It is very important that you understand who the true Hebrews are, because that end-time prophecy, lots of it, surround these individuals. I am a Gentile. I know exactly who I am, but it seems to be the one group of people in the world that have been, by the rest of the world, tried to be dumbed down to the fact or completely erase their history from history, is the African American people, so-called, that are scattered throughout the nations. Now, please understand that not every single black person is a true Hebrew, but it is those that are under the curse of Deuteronomy 28. And you'll be able to tell by the time that I'm done giving you this information in this video who the true Hebrews are, and you may be one of them. So let's begin.
Which are an ancient community of the Israelite exiles. Now this is, for the most part, the general consensus of the largest people in Africa. You do have different groups like the Abu Daya in Uganda who aren't saying they're from the lost tribes but have joined the people of Israel in the large amounts of numbers. One other location I'd like to, actually before I go into this other location, what's fascinating is, which I speak about, is the transatlantic slave trade. A large percentage of it actually came from Igbo territory. So these Igbo today in Nigeria, who are practicing Jews, numbering the 40 million people with customs and traditions, doing circumcision on the 8th day, were the same exact people brought to the Americas on the transatlantic slave trade. Now, if someone goes to Times Square in New York today, you'll see African Americans dressed in Israelite outfits and yelling at people saying, "You're not the real Jews, we're the real Jews." And so most people saying, "Well, you guys are kooky, you just made this whole thing up, you made up a religion."
Waking up the white race? I'm not sure about that, honestly, because the comments that I have gotten from the white race have been pretty bad. People call me every name in the book, telling me to go kill myself, telling me to get AIDS and die. I mean, that's just the most horrible thing that you can say to any human being. So it's kind of discouraging, actually, because I cannot be the only white person on the face of this earth that feels this way. I mean, there's got to be somebody else out there. It's really discouraging and disheartening, because I just don't understand how they can be so racist and have such hatred in their heart. I don't get it. So actually, I would kind of like to apologize for the comments that the white race are saying to my videos, because I didn't intend to bring this kind of stuff out either. When I learned this, something inside of me was pulling at me and was telling me to put this out there. And so I did it because, like I said, something was telling me to do it. So I did. And like I said, as far as waking up the white race, I don't know. Maybe given time, some white people will stumble on my video and they will be just as ignorant as I was, and it'll help wake them up to see the truth. So that's what I'm hoping. So second of all, I do want to clarify too that I know that the black people that are here in the United States now are not African. I know that. The term African American is what the white man has pinned on them. Basically, I feel to try to keep hiding their true identity. They want them to think they're African, so they won't find out who they really are. So I know, and I wanted to clarify that I know the black people here are the true Hebrew Israelites. I know that. So let me just get that out there and clarify that. Also, something interesting that some people may not know is that actually Africans, they don't like the black race that's over here. They don't like them. They hate them. And the only thing that conclusion that I can come to is that because the Africans know that they're the true Hebrew Israelites. They know they're the chosen people of God. So therefore they hate them. That's the only reason, the only conclusion that I can come to. So I just wanted to clarify that I do know that they are not African. Just because the white man got them from the continent that we now know as Africa doesn't make them African. I mean, okay, I live in America, but I'm not American. I mean, it was not my choice to be here, and I don't like it here. Simple. I mean, that's just being honest. So, like I said, just because they were brought from the continent of Africa doesn't make them African. And I wanted to read something. It's from a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu. And if you can get this book, I would encourage it because it's really interesting. There is a paragraph, here on page 84. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. So that shows you right there exactly how the Hebrew Israelites got into Africa. And it just reiterates my point about them not being African just because that's where they were at. And also one other thing is, it's not coming from the Bible, it's coming from the Bible dictionary. And under Ham, it says, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. Now this is the key point. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So anybody who wants to try to say that the black race, they come from Ham, that's not true. That is not true. He was a progenitor of all the other dark races, just not the Hebrew Israelites. Also, I want to clarify too that I know Christ is black. I know it. I tried to bring it out in my video. I don't know if I didn't do a good enough job, but I do know that. And I don't think he's a man with a tan. I don't think he's Arab. And I know for sure that he's not a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. So I also wanted to let everybody know I know Christ is black. So just wanted.
O Lord, my strength, and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee, from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things where there is no profit. Jeremiah 16 verse 19.